upload twice this week since I forgot last time. Didn't happen. Definitely a whole new week now, but it's okay because here's a video. And I kind of recently, got 2 hamsters as pets, which is pretty amazing since I've had fish and snails my whole entire life. So I finally got like a pet that I can sort of interact with more. So here's this video introducing them, and I'm going to be showing you how I made them DIY bin cages since I'm broke. Okay. So the first hamster that I got was this hamster. Her name is Doris. And I got her about a month and a half ago from an animal shelter near me. The shelter didn't tell me what type of hamster she was, but they did tell me she was a dwarf, so I'm assuming she is some sort of a hybrid between a Russian Campbell and a winter white. To me, she looks more like a Russian Campbell's because she has more of a cream coloring around her. According to the shelter, she is now around a year and 1 month old. She is a little aggressive. I'm not sure if it's cage aggression or if she is just an aggressive hamster, which does happen. And I'm not really able to interact with her a lot, but I still love her very much, and I do like to feed her, and she runs on her wheel, and everything is relatively normal. Well, besides the fact that she's still a little aggressive, and I'm still working on taming her, so if anyone has any suggestions, leave them down below. So my other hamster is named Ava, or Eva, depends on how you decide to pronounce it. I didn't name any of my hamsters, that's just the name that the shelter came with, and I didn't decide to change them. She is around 4 months old now, and I got her around a month ago, I think. She is pretty friendly, and I've been able to hold her a couple times, usually only when she's eating, but that isn't her fault. It's actually my fault because I am scared of her biting me, because when I've been trying to tame Doris, she has bitten me a couple of times, hence why she's a little aggressive. So I'm actually scared to pick Ava up without food, but I'm working on it. She's really friendly, she's not aggressive at all. She's a really nice hamster. She is a dwarf of some sort. Once again, the shelter doesn't know or didn't tell me what type. She looks more like a winter white than a Russian Campbell's because she doesn't have that cream coloring. She is more of a burrower than Doris, although I do provide both their cages with like a side with more bedding to burrow in. She really loves digging through them, storing her food in those tunnels. Doris just likes using her hideouts as her food stash and doesn't really dig any tunnels. I also haven't really seen her chewing any of the chews I've put in her cage, which is a little bit concerning. I've tried smearing a little bit of peanut butter on them to make them smell better. She doesn't really chew them. She does chew a dog treat that I give her that I've seen a bunch of other YouTubers use as a chew. The main food I feed to my hamsters consists of around 50% of the Higgins Sunburst Gourmet Blend and 50% of the Mejuri Rat Pellet because they contain very good nutrients for them. I've watched a bunch of videos and a lot of YouTubers have recommended this. I also occasionally scatter in some Naturals Nature salad into their cage to encourage foraging. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this one, but so far my hamsters are enjoying it. I also occasionally give them dried mealworms as treats because they are high in protein and they aren't super sweet. I also give them fresh fruits and vegetables to supplement their diet, such as romaine lettuce, bananas, and boiled egg whites, but there are many more you can give them. To make a bin cage for your hamster, I bought a large Sterilite bin from Walmart and some wire mesh from Home Depot. I also used some wire, but you can use zip ties if you don't have any. The first thing you want to do is to mark out a rectangle on the top of your lid. This is where you'll be cutting and where your wire mesh will go. After this, cut your wire mesh to be a little bit bigger than the rectangle that you marked out. If you would like, you can also tape any sharp edges. This didn't really work out for me since the tape peeled right off, but if you use some bigger tape like duct tape, it should be okay. The next thing you need to do is to cut a hole in the lid where you marked out. This actually ended up being way harder than I had anticipated since we didn't have the right power tools, but we made it work. After this step, you want to cut your wire into little strips of 2 to 3 inches. If you have zip ties, you can skip this part. After cutting the wire, drill pairs of holes into the edge of the lid. Make sure that they are big enough to fit your wire, but not too big that the wire can just slip out. After this, attach the wire mesh to the top of your cage with the wire or zip ties. Make sure you are putting the wire mesh on the top of the cage because if you put it on the underside, there is a chance that it could hurt your hamster. Cut off any extra wire or zip tie that you don't need. When using wire, make sure that the sharp parts are on top of the cage so they don't injure your hamster. After this step, you are done with your bin cage. Just set up your cage as normal. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to leave a like and comment some ideas that you want me to do, maybe even with my hamsters. Don't forget to subscribe to become a So Snazzian. And thanks for watching. Bye!